really pleased to be here. I've got José with me, who is the Addressable Account Director at EssenceMediacom. I'm the Commercial Director at AMA. And we're going to take the next 15 minutes, 40 minutes or so to take you through, I personally think, an awesome case study that really showcased the power of audio and how you can use data-driven media targeting and creative to get those results. And José is going to take you through all the insights and strategy and planning, and I'm just going to talk how AMA has deployed it.
Cool. So yeah, afternoon guys. So take you guys back to last year. We're just getting ourselves out of the pandemic, and we were looking to restart and revitalise the Race for Life campaign for cancer research. As many of you remember, a lot of physical events have been heavily impacted that year, so we really had to restart this campaign with a bang. So looking at an addressable approach and how we could target this up and down the country. So before getting kicked off into our sort of strategy in our campaign, we identified some key insights here based on the previous audiences. And looking at users who impact in sort of race events and charity events, we identified that they very rarely travel 10 miles outside of their constituent and their area. And that 63% of the races over cancer research's Race for Life campaign started in May and would end by June. And these were running all the way in September. So over half the races were finished by the end of June. And normally this would mean that there would be an ad spend and ad wastage there by the time the summer had been over. And traditionally with the campaign, we had seen that this has been heavily targeted to females, and cancer research wanted to be a lot more inclusive and have this balanced out between both male and female race competitors. So what was our strategy? The core campaign was simple. We wanted to use a connected, hyper-localised approach both to creative and messaging as well as media to raise awareness and sign up intent throughout the campaign and normalise both male participants and female participant drive throughout it. So we identified 4 key things that we were looking to target. We were going to focus on 131 priority races up and down the country. So throughout the campaign and throughout Race for Life, there's over 451 unique events. So we were able to find where these 131 events were and indexed high with both males and females and allowed us for the best opportunity to achieve our KPIs. We were also looking at how we could redirect media spend. So what this would mean is that when a race had been complete, how we could then either rechange the strategy or redistribute the media budget so there was no wastage. And how this was achieved was using innovative technology partners and strategy to make this possible. So what was the strategy itself? So using an omni-channel approach, the goal was simple. No matter what channel, what device, and how you were ingesting it, media, you would be targeted with a relevant personalised campaign to where you were in the country. These would include such things as race information, event information, male and female creative, and the actual race dates themselves. And depending on the channel and format you were viewing on would depend how the creative was served. So for display, this would be seen as with male and female imagery and copy, and we'd also have the race information itself, so 5K, 10K, and 15K. But when we utilised this across audio, it was especially special because what we're able to do here is tap into linguistics and accents. So depending on if you're a male or a female and where you were in the country, you would be heard by a male or female voice and an accent. So we would have southwest accents for down there, and up north, we would have a combination of north, Geordie, and everything in between. And Silke, who will explain the technology of how this was done.
Cool, thank you. So thanks, José, for taking us through the strategy and planning, which I think is really in depth. And sorry, I'm just moving over here so I can address you all as well. So we actually worked with José's team for probably since 2019, and only recently they actually became the addressable content practice team. So I'm really happy to share the stage, but also acknowledge the fact that such insight and strategy goes into the targeting, but also the creative execution. The previous speaker was actually talking about creativity and how important it is in terms of driving actual results. And Nielsen actually recently done a study where 47% of the sales attribution actually is due to the creative. So seeing that strategy and data is put into the creative execution is really important because listeners don't know or potentially are not that aware of what happens before they receive an ad, but what they're aware of actually what they hear, right? So AMA has helped José and his team and Cancer Research to really bring the audio to life with data-driven, customized audio ads. And for those that don't know AMA, or previously known as A Million Ads, we specialize in this. So we deliver customized, data-driven ads across any audio platform globally. Our ads are more relevant, they're more urgent, specifically in this case. They're also more attributable and effective. And loads of speakers actually talked about measurements today, so it's really important to address that as well. So what that means is that we always work off a core concept. You have one ad and you can automate the rest. Everything that's done is in real time across a single vast tech solution. So no longer you have this ability of 1,000 flat ads having to be connected to single flights within a DSP. Is all done automized. And the other beauty is that the AMA platform actually is an open platform. So you can include any audience data, any measurement verification type of data, context, platform, your preferred tech stack of choice. So by looking at the actual dynamic creative solution here, we talk about smarter creative, and José has talked about how the deployment would actually would look like. So we talked about location being the super important part here, because we want to make sure that people only find out about the race that's closer to them, because we know they don't travel further than 10 miles. So we use that. And also, as José mentioned, accents, local communication is really key. So speaking to someone in their accent actually yields a higher effectiveness. So we use different accents, but also different voiceovers. So one for male, one for female. The male audience was actually underrepresented. And then, of course, the key thing here is to deliver the race to the person at the time when it's actually happening, to drive awareness, consideration for people get signed up, and when it's over, we change the message to another race or to a broader message, and then switch the media delivery to other areas where races are still being held. So what you see in the next slide is actually a decisioning process that the AMA platform creates for every single time an ad is being requested. So as I mentioned, it's a single vast tech solution. So the AMA in real-time platform generates what type of variant shall I actually include in this impression request. So in this case, what you see here, we have a male listener, falls into the male audience. He is located in Barnsley, so he wants to find out about the race that is happening in Barnsley around the 3rd of July. And because we know he's in Barnsley, which is in Yorkshire, for all those geographical geniuses, he will get a Yorkshire-specific accent in terms of the ad itself. So the AMA platform does it all in real time, returning back and getting this beautiful ad. And actually, I prepared it earlier, we have this specific ad, which you can now listen to. So listen out or have a look at the data points that light up so that you can hear the data triggers that were being used.
I race for life for my mum, who was diagnosed with bowel cancer.
I race for life for my best friend, who we lost too soon.
I race for life for everyone facing cancer.
Who will you race for life for?
Go to raceforlife.org now and sign up to the Barnsley Race for Life event on the 3rd of July. Get 30% off entry if you sign up by Easter Monday.
And together, we will beat cancer. In partnership with Tesco.
What did William say? The greatest ideas are the simplest. And I think this is really showcasing how this insight and strategy can apply at media, but also the creative execution. This data really flowed through from the beginning to the actual execution of what people were listening to. And I'm sure you're all excited to find out what the actual results were. Because it's nice to talk about the insights and strategy, but what has it actually performed at, right? What did people do? So this was a really large-scale campaign. 34 million impressions were delivered. Over 553 ads were created via the AMA platform. And I think the success here, when looking at the stats, obviously you can read the numbers, but it's twofold. It's a fantastic case where audio as an omni-channel has actually outperformed video channels. Dynamic creative usually is the go-to for visual channels, be that display or social video. But actually it's a super awesome case to show that the power of audio is real. And when you apply the right strategy and insight into the media targeting and the creative execution, you're onto a winner. So this is a phenomenal case. And also the other case is that we had more signups. By using the strategy and into the dynamic creative, we saw more people actually signing up for an awesome course. I don't know, José, if you had anything else to add to this specific slide, what the clients
I think
were excited about.
I think the beautiful thing with working with AMA and audio on this campaign is the other channels that we utilised and ran this campaign across were very visual based. And being able to do something with audio was just so much different, being able to work with like accents and male and female voices. And the fact that it didn't jeopardize, or it fits so beautifully into our strategy, both from a creative concept and from a media distribution, it just lined up so well there.
Fantastic. So yeah, so that's it. If you have any questions or want to talk to us afterwards, we'll be outside. We're ready for questions. And yeah, I think it's a great use case. We should make more of those. So hit us up. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, everyone.
I really appreciate it.